Hello everybody, this is Diego from Aprende Inglés en Leganés. Today we're going to do a gap text exercise together. This is a B2 level gap text exercise. It's part 6 of the use of English and reading paper of the Cambridge exams. What do we do first? The gap text is all about finding ambiguous sentences. For example, and these are the clues. Let's have a look at this before we start with the other one. Gap text training. Find ambiguous words or fragments in each of the following paragraphs. For example, we have after that, I asked her about it, which was the most nerve-wracking part of it all. After that, what can we ask here? We don't know what that means. We don't know what that refers to. So, after what? I asked her about it. Who is she? Her here. What did he ask her about? Which was the most read part of it all. I asked her, who does I refer to? I could be he or could be she, depends. Why was it nerve wracking? Why? And what does all refer to? Part of it all. So here we have in this sentence, we have one, two, three, four, five different clues. So this is more of the same thing that we are going to do in this with this gap text exercise. First, we're going to read a little bit what this is about, so that we know what kind of vocabulary we can expect. So you are going to read about an article about cookery, a cookery course for children. So we know this is going to be about cookery. Okay, the first step. We are going to go and check what comes before and after the gaps here in the text. And then after that, we'll do the same with this, with the remove paragraphs. So we're going to be looking for these kind of questions, as we said before, ambiguous sentences, ambiguous fragments, and we're going to be looking also for preposition, not prepositions. We're going to be looking for pronouns: he, she, it, we, they, object pronouns, us, them, possessive pronouns, theirs, his, hers, things like that. They're going to help us to link the paragraphs, the previous and the next paragraphs. Okay, so first we have this one. That's gonna be an easy one to see. We have this one. These children. So we're going to highlight that. These children with the shape. These children. What does the children refer to? So we will know because that these children, that means that we were talking about children before. Okay, we go to number 10. After 10, we have, but one thing is quite clear. One thing is quite clear. They all have a genuine interest in food and learning how to cook. We have but. But shows that this is a contrast with the previous sentence. That means that probably what we or was said before was the opposite of this, or we just want to show a contrast. Okay, then we move on to 11. 11, kids are easy to teach. Kids are easy to teach. This is an statement. She insists. Who is she? So probably they were talking about kids before. They were talking about teaching kids or something similar. We'll see that later. Then we move on to number 12. Number 12, we're gonna go here. Judging by the eager looks on the young faces as they watch and demonstrations, they're just being keen to start cooking. Okay, so that means that they were talking about cookery course. They were just about to start cooking. So we'll have a look at it later to this at this uh, at this paragraph. Okay, we move on to number 13. When they learn to make bread, the girls knead the dough with their hands competently, while the boys punch it into the board, cheerfully hitting the table with their fists. So here we see that we are comparing girls and boys, how girls and boys do things. Okay, the following then we move on to number 14. Ignoring this, we're gonna move all the whole thing here, ignoring this. Ignoring this, Anna brightly continues trying to persuade everyone that fruit drinks are just as interesting as sausages and eggs. Ignoring what? What was she ignoring? What was she ignoring? We'll have a look later about that. And let's move to 15. And I like to keep the girl's face down. And we're talking about money here. Some of the course is to lower the standards in any way, even though the students will show you. Okay. Because as I said before, now we're going to move on to the other side, to the remove paragraphs, and we're going to do exactly the same, looking for clues. Let's start with the A. This is followed by a session on knife skills. What does this refer to? We'll find out later. Let's have a look at B. She always uses top quality ingredients. She, who is she? Probably she refers to Anna, who is the teacher. As they wander around, they argue lightheartedly about who has the most experience in the kitchen. As they wander around. Who are they? Probably the kids. In the garden, they learn about the herbs that they will use in their cooking. Who are they? They're talking about learning here. Who are they? The kids probably. Then move on to E. The obvious tiredness might explain why one of them goes about the task so carelessly that the ingredients end up on the floor. Here, the obvious tiredness. That means they are the kids' tiredness. They are tired. Why are they tired? Why is that obvious? Okay, we have something. It's important in these cases when we have an adjective or like in this case a noun like that shows or expresses like an emotion or state that might give us a clear clue about what was talked about before in the previous paragraph. Then we have F here. This is particularly true of young boys. What is particularly true of young boys? We don't know. We have to look for that. As a result, she has a very relaxed attitude to cooking. As a result of what? There was something explained in the previous paragraph that tell us that that's the reason why she has a very relaxed attitude to cooking. Then we have the last one, H. This contest will become something of a theme during the course. What contrast? We don't know. This contrast. Okay. Okay. Now we can start linking, putting the paragraphs in the right place. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna look for the easiest one. In my opinion, the easiest one is E because it shows this tiredness. So we have to look for something that relates to this. Let me see. Tiredness. Let's see. Children. We were talking about faces. Shouldn't be full of the gaps. That is working. Leonis. Nothing here. The following morning, boys with dark school in the eyes stumble into the kitchen at 8 to learn how to make breakfast. Okay. And fruits and drinks made with yogurt and honey. We learned later that they didn't stop talking until 4:30 a.m. Okay, ignoring this, and I said, okay. So they didn't. They had shadowing under their eyes. That means they were tired and they didn't sleep. So that's a clear indication that this one goes there. So that we're gonna put that one there. That's gonna be here. Okay, it's gonna be E. E. That's either the orbitalianess may explain why one of them goes about the task so carelessly that the ingredients end up on the floor. Ignoring this, ignoring the fact that the ingredients end up on the floor, Anna Riley continues trying to persuade everyone that fruit is okay, that seems too much. Very well. So let's move on to the next one. For example, let's see. This contrast will become something of a theme during the course. What contrast? We have to look for a contrast for something like a comparison or something like that. As we said before, we have here a comparison between the girls and the boys. When they learn to make bread, the girls knead with their hands confidently while the boys punch. Blah, 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 blah. Here we're saying they gather, the children learn the simple way, blah, blah, blah. They gather around Anna chops an onion for the first evening meal. Then the boys compete with each other to chop the onions as fast as possible while the girls work carefully, concentrating on being neat. So, and then we put that there, have a look. This contest will become something of a theme during the course. When they learn, okay, when they learn to make bread, the girls in explains that things happening. The girls and the boys do things differently. So I'm gonna put that, go there and put that one there, which is this contrast is age. Age. Okay, that's age there. We have H, we have E, and then let's move on here. Something that I noticed, which is this. This is followed by a session of on knife skills, which will be important later on. What is followed by a session of knife skills? Let's have a look. Back in the kitchen, Anna is giving the introductory talk, including advice on keeping hands clean and being careful around hot ovens. This is followed by a session of knife skills, which will be important later on. Why this one goes here? Because if we notice, after that, Judging by the eager looks on their young faces as they watch a demonstration, they are just keen to start cooking. They learn the simplest way by watching and then doing it themselves. They get around and chops an onion. We chop with a knife. We cut with a knife. We dice with a knife. So that's why I said before vocabulary. Chopping onion, we do that with a knife. That's the moment where she was that was the session of knife skills. So we're gonna go ahead and put A here. A goes there. And then we have a C, for example. As they wander around, they argue like heartily about who has the most experience in the kitchen. When they wander around, I suppose that must be the beginning, because or something similar. Let's have a look at 9. She thinks that 8 is the perfect age to start teaching children to cook because at that age they're always hungry. As they wander around, they argue like heartily who has. That doesn't seem to fit there. They're always hungry. Could fit. We have this one. This is particularly true of young boys who are happy to do anything that will end in a meal. Let's have a look. She thinks that 8 is the perfect age to start teaching children to cook because at that age they are always hungry. This is particularly true of young boys who are happy to do anything that will end in a meal. What is particularly true? That children at that age, at 8, are always hungry. So we're going to go ahead and put that one there. F. F. So we have another one down, and then we move on to number 10. They are immediately given a tour of what will be home for the next 20, 40, or 48 hours. But one thing is quite clear, they all have a genuine interest in food and learning how to cook. They were different in some regard, but now they are equal. That's the contrast that we show. Let's have a look at this. We could go here. We show just the way around. In the garden, they learn about the herbs that they will be cooking. No. That's the one around. No. As a result, no. Let's have a look. It's not quite clear. Let's move on to the next one. Anna has worked as a chef in all sorts of situations, and has even cooked for the crew of a racing judge. Limited space and difficult weather conditions. Kids are easy to teach. Okay. As a result, she has a very relaxed attitude to cooking, constantly encouraging the children and never taking talking down to them. As a result of what? As a result of how much experience she has, because she has worked as a chef in all sorts of situations. And she says that kids are easy to teach. She never talks down to them because kids are easy to teach, she insists. Okay, so that one goes here. It's clearly goes here. That one is G. Put G here. So F, G, A. We have only these two left, 10 and 15. Let's have a look at this one. Anna has great plans for the courses and I seem reluctant to lower her standards in any way, even though her students are so young. And I like to keep the courses fees down. Anna, that's because the children enjoy and go on to teach their own children to cook. Blah, blah, blah. Let's have a look at this. We're talking about money here. And the other one talks about money is this one. She always uses top quality ingredients such as the best cuts of meat and the finest cheeses. So there's clearly no profit motive in this operation. No profit motive. So here we put that one here. And I like to keep the courses fees down. No profit motive, fees down. So that clearly goes here, which is B. B goes there. And then we are left with only, we have 10. We have A, B, E, F, G, H, C, C, N, E, F, G, H, A, B, E, F, G, H, E, F, E, F, G, H, E, F, G, H, A, B. So it has C, C, and D. C and D. One of these two goes there. C and D. C or D. One of these two go there. So let's have a look. Well, one thing is clear. They all have a genuine interest in food and learning how to cook. C. As they wander around, they argue lightheartedly about who has the most experience in the kitchen. But one thing is clear. Yeah, it makes sense. In the garden, they learn about the herbs that they will be using in their cooks. But one thing is clear. No, there's no contrast. In here, there is a contrast. They argue lightheartedly about the most experience in the cook, but one thing is clear. They all have a genuine interest in food. So that clearly is C. About that is they wander around. Well, they wander around. They wander around because they're just giving a tour. When you're giving a tour, you wander around. That's another clue. Okay, so that's all finished. So now we're going to check. We did that in 19 minutes. Anything below 20 minutes is good because, as we all know, time is of the essence in campus exams. The time is ticking. If you take too long to do this part, maybe you won't have time to finish the other ones. Let's have a look at the results. We have here FCGA, FCGA, HEV, and the answers are. Let's have a look here. The answers are these ones. Let me move this. Just give me a minute, guys. Open. The answers are in the text number one here, which is this one. It's part two because this is the old. This is the before the last the IT exam was updated in 2015, but it's okay. You can do it anyway. It's part four, but actually nowadays it's part six. So we have 9F. This one is 9F CGA. I said before 9F, 10C, 11G, 12A, 13H, 14E, 15B. Let's have a look. FCGA. FCGA. So FCGA, and then we have HEV. HEV. Let's have a look. HEV. So all of them are correct. So we did it right, the right clues. As you can see, it takes a little bit of time, but with practice, you can do this very, very quickly and go straight to the clues and start just linking. Always remember to link the first one, the one that you think is the easiest first,